How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here, and we're back for another Dokkan battle video. We are 2 days away from the start of Global Dokkan's 7-year anniversary, and in today's video we are going to be talking about how to strategize and prioritize your summons, especially if you're someone who hasn't been saving your stones. Now, I know what you're thinking. Celtic Link, it's a gacha game. How on earth are you supposed to strategize? Well, it comes down to three things, rather. One, knowing how many stones we're going to be getting during the anniversary. Two, knowing the banners and your box. And three, knowing what comes ahead. So let's start with knowing how many stones we're going to get. We're just going to do a quick overview, and I'm going to show you on the Dokkan Wiki here, that you can expect, assuming we get a first rank anywhere in here, you can assume that we are going to get somewhere around 1,400 stones for the entirety of the anniversary, and somewhere around 643, assuming we get first place in the Apple and iOS, or the iOS and Android store, somewhere around 640 stones for part 1. I specifically label out part 1 because that is when the discounts and the 3+1s end for these Dokkan Festival LR banners. So important to keep those numbers in mind, because that will help you figure out which direction to go for these banners. The other thing to consider is your box and the banners themselves, right? So if you're a newer player, either one of these banners is a great start for you. It really doesn't matter. If you're coming into this anniversary fresh with no stones, knowing you're getting 1,400 stones or so throughout this entire thing, either banner's a great start for you. Doesn't really matter. But if you're someone who's been playing for a while, you really should consider which banner is better for you. If you've got most of the units with a couple dupes in it on, say, the Super Saiyan 4 banners, and the only thing you really need is the new unit, then maybe it's not the best decision to go that way. Same goes for the gods, right? So really look at the banners, look at who you're missing of the Dokkan Festival LRs, or look at who you have the least amount of dupes for, and then decide which one to go for there. The banners themselves, there's some push and pull between which one was better. I personally feel that the Super Saiyan 4 ones is better because some of the units have aged better, but either way, there isn't much difference between the two, and there really isn't much difference between the LRs themselves, the main attractions, the gods and the Super Saiyan 4s. As we went over in our unit overview video, they function relatively similar all the way up until Gogeta transforms, so know that you won't be missing much if you don't get one of them. Now, the third thing I said to remember after considering the banners and your box and what's best for your box is consider what's coming ahead. Okay? Currently on JP, they are celebrating their Tanabata celebration. In the Tanabata celebration is typically the first return of the anniversary LRs. This almost happens every single year. Now for Global, this celebration, the Tanabata celebration, occurs in November, and with the return of those LRs comes their addition to the coin shop, where you can purchase them for 500 coins. So, knowing those three things, knowing that they will return in November, knowing that, say, one of them is better for your box than the other. 3, knowing that we are receiving 1,400 stones or so. Now you want to prioritize. Okay? So, my suggestion for strategizing and prioritizing these banners is to pick whichever one you decided. Right? So let's say the gods were the best for you. Pick that one and go all in for it with whatever stones you're coming into the anniversary with. I know you'll see YouTubers and you'll see other people say, hey, do the discounts on each, yada yada yada. And yes, that's not a terrible idea, but if you're not coming in with that many stones, you need to be careful where you summon. And the best suggestion I can give, right, as a player who's gone through this, pick a banner and stick with it till you get the 1 LR, right? It is RNG, but it's also a chance game, right? The more times you roll the dice, the more likely it is that you will eventually roll the dice in your favor. If you keep switching back and forth, that may not always happen. So in my advice, pick one and stick with it till you get through it. You do that, you will eventually build up the coins you need to purchase one of those LRs when they return in November. If you are a low-to-play or a free-to-play player, this is the best suggestion I can give for strategizing your summons. Pick a banner, stick with it till you get the unit. Don't let yourself walk out of here because you were without either of the units because you were jumping back and forth. Go for it. Once you've got one of the units, and if you still got a bunch of stones to spare, then go ahead and switch over to the other banner. That is the best strategy I can give for summoning. It is the most conservational with your stones, which is going to be very important, especially for us on Global, knowing there are big things coming in our future, like the Tanabata, like Worldwide, like Superhero, whenever that happens. So it's important to consider that and really, really strategize in that manner. Get your 1 LR, and then save your coins for the other, unless you do it early enough that you have a ton of stones left over, right? Then do whatever. And then, obviously, I mean, it should go without saying, this is mostly for you low-to-play, free-to-play players. If you're a whale, have at it. Go for whatever you need to go for. Spend as much as you need to spend to get what you want, obviously. That goes without saying. So, one last thing I do want to remind you of, there are the rainbow tickets that you will be receiving with each login on the anniversary, as well as through the missions that you can use in part 2. So if you don't end up picking one of them during the summons during part 1, you can always use tickets in part 2. Just remember, as we said in our ticket overview video, they are not guaranteed SSR, so it will increase your chances of throwing more multis at them, but you won't necessarily have a guaranteed chance at something featured. Just a heads up. So anyways, guys, that is my strategy. Again, for part 1, we are getting 640 stones, assuming we get first rank. If not, then 500 stones, which is still pretty good. We will get 1400 in totality, and you can use that number along with your box and knowing the units that are coming, such as the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyans, Vegeta and Trunks, and the Resurrection of F-Duo. Knowing that these things are coming, you can use all of these factors to consider how to strategize and prioritize your summons. Again, I hope you guys found this strategy helpful. I hope you guys listening all pull the units you want to pull. But if you did find it helpful, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And in the comments down below, just like we did in the last video, let me know. What's your strategy? What are you doing? Who are you summoning for first? Who are you going for before you switch over? And as always, guys, if nothing else, thanks for watching and aloha.